I actually love when people doubt me. I love it. It gives me that feeling, that drive, that extra push I need to work even harder to prove them wrong. I'm talking about all the way back to high school. You know, here I am, I'm 55 years old, and I still want some of the people that I went to high school with to see my videos and to see my growing success. Now the odds are slim. I get it. You know, I mean, if I even got one of them to see it, it'd be like amazing. But I feel like that's my drive. When I just see the doubts and I hear the doubts, like somebody on one of my channels said, why don't you stop lying? Because I said I was building this AI agency, and he said, why don't you stop lying? And I just did a recent video showing proof of my legal documents, of my articles of organization. I didn't show my tax ID because that's kind of like a social security number. But I showed my documents. I went to Staples. I put all my documents, even though with Busy, the good thing about Busy is they're stored on your dashboard, on your Busy dashboard. So your stuff's always there. But I downloaded them anyway to go print out at Staples. This comes in very handy if you don't have a printer at your house. You can email your stuff to Staples, and you could then print them out. You got like 24 hours to go to Staples, print it out, printed them out, put it in your nice binder that you can buy at Staples. Put each page in there. It looks professional. So when you go to the bank, you look like a professional. Now, the only other thing that would make me look even better is to dress decent, you know. Not even the way I'm dressed right now. Put something, you know, I might put like a dress jacket on. You can still have jeans, but have like a dress jacket. I wouldn't have this kind of hat. I have, you know, more of the, you know, the old school looking hats, church looking hats. Not the cowboy hat, but the, you know, I don't even know what you call them. Like a Kango makes them. Kango, that was the company that used to make my favorite hat. Those look more like you could wear a Kango with a suit. That's how the brand of Kango really blew up. So I work harder when people don't believe in me. And now you saw, I saw proof. It did take me a long time. Because I was using the name for like 2 years under my holding company. I was using the name Blaine Drake for like good to long 2 years. But I finally made it official, made it LLC, and I'm still, I don't know what I was thinking about by thinking I was going to do a Slack. Way too complicated for me. I think I am going to do the with me and just pay the $29.99, whatever they charge me, and just make my own membership. Now in the membership, and if you're interested now, email me and let me know, you know, I'm interested. I'm probably not going to do a course or anything. I'm probably going to put everything on with me because it's kind of like your all-in-one dashboard. So I'm just probably going to do a community with a subscription price of no higher than $97. But with that, unlike all these other people you see on YouTube once a month for your membership of, actually, you know what? I might do a lower price. I might do the first 100 people get in for $47. But for that $47, you can get me on the phone once a month, and I'm gonna be putting all my strategies in there. Everything I'm doing. We're gonna be talking about grants. We're gonna be talking about credit. You know, we're gonna be talking about the next stage, because the next stage is to build something even bigger than this. Believe it or not, I'm already thinking ahead. I know some of you don't think like that, but I'm already thinking ahead. The next big thing is a brick and mortar location, because we're going to go after the big money, the big credit lines. Bank of America, Chase, Wells Fargo. I'm going to create a new relationship with Bank of America and Wells Fargo. I already have a great relationship with Chase, so I'm good there. I would just probably open my business account with Chase, as well as all the other banks. Some of the mid-tier banks, M&T, TD. What's the point of opening all these banks? It gives you a relationship with these banks, so when you need funding, you can get it. Most of these banks, you don't have to keep more than like $5,000 in each bank. And by the time we get to that level, we'll have the money, we'll have the credit, we'll have the grants, because we're doing that now with this LLC. But I digress. We don't need to get to that right now. We're working on plan A. Why AI software is low risk. Meaning I'll be able to go get, because we're not in transportation, I'll be able to go get a car at a decent rate for the business. And we can still use it for the business. And I can literally rent the car out, make revenue that way. We can hire a driver, put him in the car to do maybe deliveries. You know, there's a million and one things you could do outside of just Uber and Lyft. You know, we could do it. Get into the healthcare, transportation side. We do just medical rides and do something with the government where we get paid by some type of government or state agency. They got these mid-tier agencies, and if you're an Uber and Lyft driver, you know what I'm talking about. I forget the names of them, but they literally hire Uber and Lyft drivers to pick up some of their people because they don't have enough of their own drivers. But these companies, they make so many mistakes, it's easy to build a new one. It'll be easy and raise money for it. And because it's in the transportation industry, you will get plenty in gas cards and credit that way. But AI being a software company, because we're really gonna build a software. We're not lying about that main part of the business. Matter of fact, on my website, I have it where they can click on a link and they can actually play with a demo AI I made with Gemini AI Studio, literally in 5 minutes. And I'm not technical at all. I'm not. I know I might come off like I might be, but I'm not at all. But when people doubt me, it just makes me work harder. So please go in the comments and doubt me more. Please, I will share it. I love it when people doubt me. I have a lot more confidence because I made a lot of mistakes too. And I think a lot of people don't make enough mistakes because they don't have the balls to try. I might not have been that hard in the street, but I'm hard when it comes to business because I have tried everything. I have tried everything. Crypto plays. Why I can't say everything? Because I never tried real estate. That's the next step. But everything outside of real estate, mainly online stuff, I've tried it all. And I started thinking, you're trying too hard. Meaning that you'll work a lifetime trying to make the money to have the perfect successful business. You have to go out and get grants and borrow the cash to make things move quicker. I hate to say that. The reality check is you'll be working a lifetime trying to just make the money. Now, if you're already making some money, that's good. But what I'm saying is, if you have grant funds or you got a big cash infusion, you could go out and go make some things happen to make more money. Your company will grow even faster. I'm talking big because I just hit the 700s on my credit scores, but it's not just about the score, and I understand what they mean now. Now I have to get a big line. I don't have a personal line of at least 10,000, because by having a personal line of at least 10,000, you would easily qualify for a lot more on the business side when I'm ready to pull the trigger. But there are trade lines out there to help with that. I might just try to get a credit card, one personal credit card, big enough, hopefully, to at least 5,000 or greater. And that will help me qualify for what I need to qualify on the business side when I'm ready to do that. But the goal really is the grants. The goal is to go after grants because it is taxable, but it's not debt. And you can write off on your taxes to offset that. So it's like free money. And I don't know why I never really got into grants before. I think the process was too complicated. Maybe that's why most of you never got into grants, but it's gotten easier since AI came out. It's gotten way easier. AI can help you even write the grants now. It's a whole different game now, thank God. So it's made the process a lot easier to go after grants. Unfortunately, I learned about grants during the pandemic. That's where and it was easier than it will ever be again in life during the pandemic, because, it was Democrats mostly just giving out cash. And for some of us, it benefited us. It saved my life. Because if I not had got that cash, I think I'd have been living in the street, because just being an Uber driver wasn't cutting it. And that's when I learned more about being an entrepreneur. Even when I had a brick and mortar store, I didn't have any clue my finances were bad personally. I didn't know about business credit. If I'd known that stuff, what I know now back then, I'd be rich. Literally rich. And the banks are cutting back, and there's still a lot of money available. And the banks have cut back since the pandemic because they gave out so much. But I think we're coming to a point where they're starting to feel a little bit more comfortable, and they're going to start giving out a little bit more money again. So I think we're going to go back to not like pandemic time, but normal times, I should say. Back to normal, which it should be. Where if you got everything set up properly, here's some money. You got some revenue, even better. You got good personal credit, even better. So there's always going to be a way between revenue and credit to get funding for your business, but nobody thinks about grants. You can even have bad credit and get grants if you have a well-structured LLC or corporation. You don't even need good credit to get approved for these grants. You just gotta have a plan. And what better plan than having a low-risk industry that everybody's into right now? Let's keep it real. Everybody's in AI. So I'm thinking, don't fight them, join them. You know? And I don't really have to even know anything about AI because AI is getting easier for the average person. Now, would I ever hire somebody that knows more than me? Yes. Because that's going to just make the business grow quicker because we can build on my ideas. Got a lot of ideas, but I have no clue how to put it together. I just saw some with 11 Labs have the capability, and I watched a lady walk me through it on YouTube, how to build your own voice, your own AI agent that talks on the phone. You can literally set one of those up and have it go to a phone number and have your local bank call that number, speak to your agent, and have that agent explain to them who you are, what your company is going to do, what the company has done so far in terms of raising money, what social media platforms they're on, how many followers, literally everything about you, you could give to this agent and have them speak it back to the bank and make you look like you're worth $1 million already. This is the kind of stuff I'm going to do when I get to that next stage where I do the C Corp at a brick and mortar location, because it's going to make me look like $1 million already. The minute I actually go to the first bank to put money in, it's going to make me look like $1 million. And if I keep my scores above 700 at all times, I'll be able to give that company an influx of their first lines of credit, and then the business is going to take care of itself because I know how to build trade lines on the business. Some are going to be paid trade lines, some are going to be trade lines of just companies you do business with and they'll give you a trade line. But my goal is to get this C Corp just to get enough capital to set that up, because that one's going to be around retirement. Because I'm going to set that up to either sell or go public. Structure it with like real people doing the thing so I don't have to do it, and it be bringing in revenue. And this is all doable stuff with technology we have right now. The hardest step, honestly, for a lot of people is just setting up their LLC. I know it's crazy. That should be the easiest. But that's the hardest hurdle for people to get over. It's just setting up that LLC, going to open a bank account. Because I'm going to the hurdle right now. I haven't actually picked a bank. What I am thinking about doing is doing some third-party stuff to link it up, like PayPal, and I'm thinking about doing a Cash App. Get those up and running. I don't know if I want to do something like a Square account. I haven't thought about it really. I guess I could do like a Square account. I guess I could. Now I'm thinking about it. But that's where I'm at right now. The AI is telling me to try Relay. That's what it's telling me. I don't want to go back to Native Federal, even though I got my original holding company account in Native Federal. Native Federal really does nothing on the business side. They don't report. They don't give you a large business line of credit. So it's like Native Federal is good for your personal side, not your business stuff. Like, Native Federal might be the ones to give me a large card on the personal side, like of 10,000. I can see that before anybody else. But the business, they're not that good. You know, maybe some other credit unions would be, I'm not sure. But there's a lot of credit unions, so that's the good thing. But this is where we're going to be talking about in this membership that I'm going to set up. I'm thinking about doing the first 100 people, $47 a month. And then when we hit 100 people, it'll go to $97 a month. But in that, you will be able to talk to me. The members will be able to talk to me. You know, the first 100 members will be able to talk to me on the phone. Maybe like once a month. Something reasonable. Because once you get beyond 100, it's too much to be making the scheduled time to talk to these people. You know what I mean? It'll be a lot. I don't want to get to the point where I'm, you know, on the phone 3-4 times a day talking to people for an hour. But I welcome getting on the phone and talking to people and talking about their plan. A lot of people just want to share their idea with somebody. A lot of people just want to get on the phone and literally just share their idea and figuring out if you can come up with a way for them to get funded. And we can do that and help each other and give each other ideas. So I want to make it a reasonable price. And I'm thinking about calling it Blaine Drake, the Family LLC. Or Blaine Drake Family LLC. Community. It sounds like catchy, throwing the Family LLC in there. That's basically what this is. It's your starting point. My holding company was a disaster. Everything was set up wrong. That's why I'm starting over. So think of this as your starting point. Your first LLC. Start making some money. All your hustle money, put it in this. Your Cash App, Venmo stuff. You know, all that. Put it in this. On the banking side, I'm thinking about going with a fintech called Relay. So I'm thinking about trying Relay. And with Relays, the only reason why I'm, you know, it's becoming challenging where you just can't go get a bank anywhere is because of the virtual address. I gotta tell you guys honest truth. It is because of the virtual address. Because if you use your home address or use a brick and mortar address, you literally could go to any bank in America and you'll be fine. That's the reason why that's the next step for me, is going to do a C Corp situation at a brick and mortar location. Because that's going to get us more money and we'll be able to go to the traditional banks and not have this problem. You know, but really, the way we're thinking about setting it up, it should work with the business insurance. It should work. And hopefully they won't get mad at some point later if they find out it's a virtual address and close my account. It should work. God willing. But we will see. And then if Relay does work or does not work, I'm still thinking about going with a local credit union with the same play. That's how I'm thinking about working it. So, and then I only need those two accounts. I'll have maybe some, if I can figure out how to set up another PayPal, I'll try Cash App. And I should be good with that business. But I know the C Corp idea, it's going to have a lot more accounts at a lot more banks. But hopefully by then we'll have revenue coming in from Landrake to cover it. I don't care what I got to do. If I got to like go rent cars, like literally buy cars and either rent them out or put Uber Lyft drivers in them to generate some revenue to put in my account, that's what I'm going to do. And I'm not looking to make a lot to have as proof of funds. I only want to make like 6 figures. So my only goal is to like $300 a day. I could do that on my own, but why? I can make $300 a day driving real hard on my own. But when you can leverage other people, why would you do it yourself? Think about that. Really think about that. Because I know some of you are like, that's not a lot of money. I could go drive 12 hours a day. You could, but you'll destroy that one car too fast, and you got to do the work. When you can literally leverage other people, you know, I can literally go purchase vans using grant money or lines of credit, rent those vans out, make $300 a day, or $500 a week from each, however you want to do it. And that revenue going in a bank on top of what I already make, now we're looking good. Now the bank's willing to just give me lines of credit just based on my revenue. And what do we deploy it in later is setting up the C Corp and making the C Corp even bigger. So you're going back and doing the same thing, except you're going to have now a physical address. So you don't have to worry about this virtual address stuff or what banks to go. You can go anywhere. Any bank, anywhere. I would probably definitely have a bank account at the big three in my area, which is Bank of America, Wells Fargo, and Chase. Those will be my top tier. I probably would have at least 20,000 in each one of those banks at all time, and just have maybe two grand going in and out. And at that point, I don't really need fintechs, but I probably would go do a lot of credit unions with the C Corp. And the C Corp's going to be in the same industry, AI, low risk. But it is going to be more on like a media play, I think, where I might purchase my own media platform and stuff like that. There's one company, they'll build you, and you know, they'll transfer everything to an app. So maybe I'll go with that company. But the industry doesn't matter, because you could use this company. Now, let's say you do want to get into something that may be considered high risk, like transportation. You could do a division of your main company. Do a new LLC under this company. And that could be, let's call it what my YouTube channel is, Nice Guy Driver. I might do a Nice Guy Driver LLC under this company and do taxi and delivery. It's lower risk than trucking. You'll still be able to get funding if you want to on the, on the gas card side and stuff. So that's more trade lines you could build just for that new company. You know, and it keeps you safe because you separated yourself from the vehicles. Or I could just keep the vehicles in this LLC because this is going to be owned by the C Corp. So this could be the LLC that I do all the high risk stuff in as well, just under the AI brand. I can still get transportation vehicles, still rent them out. You're gonna have the business insurance on them, you know. So instead of adding the money to build out a sub business of this one, I might not make this the holding company. I might make the C Corp the holding company. Set that up right, where it's going to basically set up to sell if I want to sell it. And then at that point, I only need to worry about two more things before I leave this planet, which is my family trust and a new holding company out of state to hold like boatloads of cash. You know, that's going to be my holding company. Boatloads of cash, all my investments, that holding company is going to own. You know, like retirement money, stuff like that. And then have, you know, the health insurance, you know, the whole life insurance. I might do the infinite banking thing, you know. I'm really not going to borrow the money, but if I want to, it's there. If I want to do that play, it's there. I'll get that set up that way so I can borrow from myself, put it in the stocks, do my own separate IRA. I might literally, you know, have a business ledger for crypto even, because I don't plan on holding a lot of crypto, but I see myself always holding maybe a couple thousand in crypto. I can see that easy. It'll never get too crazy. I liquidated a little bit, but I got probably close to 1,000 on Coinbase right now. Just small coins, nothing crazy. Less than 1,000. I don't even look at it. I'm poor, so I can only imagine if I had money, I probably would, you know, purchase a little bit, or maybe even just purchase a whole Bitcoin and just have it on a nice ledger wallet. You know, some people say you should even lock that up in a safe deposit box, a business safe deposit box. Your actual ledger that's holding, like, say, if you got a full Bitcoin, because you never know in the future that could turn into $1 billion. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not trying to get rich fast, as crazy it is, but at the same time it is fast, because if everything I'm doing works, I'll have the type of money that I want long before retirement age. I'm only 55. Retirement age, I think Trump just put it up. I think he just raised it. So it's like 67 or something like that. And I won't be technically retired, I'm not saying that, but I'll be able to do what I want to do. Travel when I want to travel. Go on vacations with my family when I want to go on vacation, and still put away money for them long after I'm dead. That's all I want to do. Believe it or not, that's all I care about. And hopefully people my age will see this, and they'll probably be thinking, yeah, that's all I want to do. But you gotta start with a business. If you're trying to save your way to getting rich, it's gonna take you a lifetime. So it is fast. Even if you do it in a few years, next 5 years, it is considered fast by normal standards. It shouldn't take 20 years, 30 years. Not with all this technology and shit. Not with all this technology out here. You're gonna let it get all this money go to waste. And the crazy part is a lot of people think it's not enough money for everybody. It's enough money out here for everybody. Everybody's circulating enough because even though I'm trying to get money from you guys, I'm also a person that spends money. And you're also a person that spends money. So it's all a cycle. There's enough money on this planet for everybody. And it's technically all virtual anyway. It's not even, the banks don't even have the physical cash anymore. It's kind of like crypto. So you see, I didn't give up. I've been at this, like, YouTube alone probably 8 years. I've been an Uber driver for 7. So you got to stay dedicated to something. Got to stay dedicated to something. If you're one of those people that try stuff out and just quit after 6 months, I realized that about network marketing. That's why I was kind of bad at it, because I would just kept moving companies. You got to pick one and stick with it. You keep hopping around, you're never going to make it. And when the time is right, I told myself I probably would go back to NWR, and I'll tell you why. The connections. Literally, the membership is worth the connections to those lawyers and counselors and professionals. And then they do have a metal program where you can earn on your metal, on your precious metals. So that'll be something I'm gonna go back to. But I'm focusing on getting this grant money above and beyond everything else. Would I be satisfied with? I would be satisfied with at least my first grant, like if I got 5,000. But if I get like 1,000 or 2,000, I'm just gonna keep grinding it out, trying to get more and more. I should be even content with anything, honestly, but I'm just one of those people. But I would be content with probably really 10. Like if I got a grant for 10 right out the gate, I'm golden, because that's money I can use to create banking relationships for my next play. Which probably at that point, I probably would immediately go set up the C Corp. I would get a law firm to do it though. At that point, I'm not going with busy. I would go to a law firm, pay the fee. I probably would do the whole 9. It might be worth do the whole 9 for, like, if I can get it under $5,000. If I can get them to do the living trust and the C Corp all at the same time for a reasonable price, couple grand, it'd be worth it. It'd be well worth it. Because my next play is going to make way more money than this one. Way more in credit, funding. Not to mention my credit score might be 800 something by then. Because I'm going to leverage this money to build that company. And it makes sense because this is going to be the main operating company. So that's going to be like the holding company. So that company really doesn't have to make any money. All it has to do is just build credit. It's really all it's going to have to do. Build credit and go after grants under that company. at that point, maybe we might hire a specific person just to sit and just do. We might hire one of these companies I just heard about that actually do the grants for you. You pay them a fee, and they just go after the grants for you. So you don't have to think about it. They're going after the money for you. They have all your information. They have everything they need. That, if you got money, is probably in itself worth paying for, because now you don't even have to think about it. Now you can just focus on what you focus on, which with me would be marketing. I just want to focus on doing the marketing stuff and have somebody else going after funding. I might even hire an in-house person to just go after funding. Just figure out ways to get us more funding, whether it be trade lines or actual lines of credit. A chief financial officer. There you go. Chief financial officer. Because literally your only job is to get you money. And at that stage, you'll take that money and start getting into real estate. That's when I think the real estate comes into play. I think everybody should have some real estate. Not just to live in, but mainly to make money from. Alright guys, I think I'm in the wrong lane. Going to see family today. Got my grandkids some junk food. You know, I love seeing them. That's what makes all this worthwhile, really. It's my kid, my grandkids. It really does. That's my only purpose in life. But I want to thank you guys for your continued support. And if you want to stay updated on my next plan, just keep watching. That's all I can tell you. Just keep watching. Or you want to get motivated to actually get off your ass and finally do something like set up your LLC. Message. Finally set up your first LLC. I got the links. The only thing I don't have a link for is the company Busy. They put you through a lot of hurdles just to refer them, you know, and I guess eventually I'll feel like going through the hurdles. I just didn't feel like going through the hurdles right now, so I don't have the Busy link, but I got the ones for your phone number, your website, your domain. And we're gonna have a With Me one very soon. I'm probably gonna sign up for it today. I should have done it already, but I was looking for something cheaper, I'll be honest with you. Everybody should get the With Me eventually, because it is a all-in-one platform. You're gonna be able to promote all your stuff in one place. I was trying to find something free. I thought Slack was the answer, but no, Slack is something when we get corporate and we purchase that C Corp and we got actually a team of people and you all want to communicate, that's when I think you should get a Slack. I don't know what the lady that I was watching was like making it sound like it was like a social media type thing. It can be used for that, but it's not. That's not the core purpose. But no, we don't need a Slack right now. That might be something we'll do when we build a C Corp. Right now, I think we just need some grant money. That's what I think we need. I do want to pull the trigger bad on the credit, but you got to remember that's debt. I don't need debt right out the gate. I need cash. Create the relationship. Go build the C Corp and go to the next stage while I'm still building out the credit on this LLC. I'm thinking 3 steps ahead. And if I could have my family trust set up all within the same package, that would be nice. Because I could throw some dough in that, you know, even if it's only a few thousand. And a part of me was like, don't even go buy a house. Just go rent a place to use as your studio. And I was like, yeah, that sounds like tempting though, kind of. Only because buying a house is time consuming. You got to go through a lot of hoops. When you rent it, you go look at the place. If you like what you see, you rent it, you move in. Done, cut dry. You can narrow something down in the area you want to be in. I don't know. Tell me what you guys think. Because I am still thinking about buying, but I don't know if it's the right time to buy. I don't know if I should buy now or wait. I don't know. Hit me in the comments. I'll talk to you guys another day, of course. Subscribe, like, comment. See you in the next one. Thank you.